Hey, everybody. Um, I just want to talk about something that has been on my mind for a little while. This particular video is inspired by a conversation that I had with one of my sisters. And as you already know, the topic of this video is where is God? And this is my personal opinion. But before I answer that question, I just want to say you often hear people cry out, um, oftentimes in frustration, and they'll say things to the effect, if there is a God, why does he allow this world to exist the way it does in its evil nature and for so many innocents to be harmed? Uh, and oftentimes there is the reference to innocent little children. And and here's my answer to that, and I'm basing it purely upon what it says in the Bible. And you can even go and look in the Bible, and you'll see that the basis for my answer, all the basis, the scriptures that I reference are there and that they're true. Whether you believe my answer or not, or my conclusion, might be a different story. But the reason why so much nonsense and evil is allowed to flourish in this world is because God is not here. God doesn't live in this world. And that brings me back to the original question. The answer, where is God? Well, God is still in paradise. He never left paradise. He's still in paradise. He, you already know that God is the all-pervading presence, and he's still in heaven. He's still in paradise. And so you might ask, well, where is paradise? And that's a kind of a tricky thing to answer, but the best way to answer it is to say it like this: paradise is on the flip side of this reality. It's um, paradise is here, but simultaneously it's not here. Yeah, I know that sounds confusing, but let me put it like this. Uh, you know the story, no doubt, about Adam and Eve, and how they disobeyed God, and they listened to the counsel of the serpent, and they got cast out of paradise. And this happened in the book of Genesis. He drove the man out of the garden, is what it says in the book of Genesis. And the ground of the earth was cursed, Adam was told, because of him and his disregard for God's instruction as to not eat the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So Adam got cast out of paradise, out of the Garden of Eden. And he left holy ground to walk on unholy ground, because recall that God told Adam that the ground was cursed because of him, and that he would struggle uh, to earn his living from the ground. And so, but God never left paradise. You see what I mean? God, he drove Adam out of the garden, but he never left the garden to come after Adam. So that's why I say God is not here in this cursed world that we live in. Now that doesn't mean he doesn't necessarily know what's going on, because he does know what's going on. But the situation as it currently stands, if we want to gain an audience with God, we have to go back to paradise. We have to leave this cursed ground and go back to paradise. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about after you're dead and buried. I'm talking about, spiritually speaking, you can get back to paradise. But God's not here. And he's not going to come here. And the reason why I say that, because further on in the Bible, and you can look it up, it says that God, his eyes are too pure to behold evil. So he can't see the evil that's going on in this world. He refuses to behold iniquity. But that being said, like if you're a Bible believer and if you've studied the Bible, every now and then he sends certain representatives to do certain deeds, and it's basically to help us out. You know, he sends angels in different places to encounter certain people in an effort to get us back on board with his program. But he himself doesn't come. As a matter of fact, to prove it, like if you study the book of Genesis, and it doesn't necessarily say in the book of Genesis that his eyes are too pure to behold evil. It says that a little bit later on. I forget which book. But it talks about in the book of Genesis that that God did behold all the evil of this world. In the book of Genesis, he did look at it. And evil cannot stand in the sight of God. So what happened as a result of God actually, the last time he looked at this world, according to what I recall from the Bible, the last time he looked at this world, it got cleansed by way of the great flood. And that was an automatic process, because he actually looked at the world and saw all the evil. And, it was cleansed. Noah was found the only one that was worthy to be saved. And so he gave Noah time to build an ark. And I forget how many years it took, but perception of time, as it relates to humans and as it relates to God, is completely different. Like 1,000 years is like a blink in the eye of God. So, that just attests to his eternal nature. But yeah, the last time he actually looked at the evil of this world, it washed it all away. I mean, that was just an automatic process by way of the law itself. And as a result of that, he decided that he won't destroy the world, that the world won't be destroyed that way again. Therefore, that means he's not going to look at the evil of this world. What's going to happen is that the evil of this world is just going to have to run its course. There's a beginning and an end to everything. A Genesis, and a revelation. Well, an ending. Revelation doesn't necessarily mean ending, but Genesis does. Genesis means beginning. But yeah, I mean, evil is just gonna have to run its course, and God is not gonna come here to look at this world anymore, because He promised that that kind of destruction won't happen anymore, like when the last time He looked at it, because His eyes cannot behold iniquity. It just can't happen. So, like I said, He'll send an angel every now and then, and theoretically, that's why He sent, as the Bible puts it, His only begotten Son. That's why He sent His Son into the world, because He Himself will not come, because, again, you know what would happen if He were to come and behold the iniquity of this world. So He sends His Son to show us the way to get back to paradise. And I believe most people misunderstand the way, because they think you have to suffer and deal with the way the world is. And when I say suffer, I mean the inner suffering, the sickness of body, the anguish of the mind, the emotional instability. No, you weren't meant to suffer. One of the reasons why God sent His Son was to show you how to cease with the suffering. But apparently, not many people that I can see for myself are really getting that. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the last thing on the agenda, as far as what I understand about the Bible, as far as trying to save man, trying to save humanity from itself. He sent His Son, and unfortunately, they seemed to accept Him, but then they rejected Him. So, and then they formed religions and cults that come across as saying that, oh, we've accepted Him, but they're really not accepting Him. I mean, it's all a big joke. Most of the religions, and most of them are cults, because even the Son of God said, you'll know these trees by the fruit they produce. But you got all these trees that are not producing fruit at all, and saying that they're building the kingdom of God. And, it's kind of like the fig tree that got cursed. It looked healthy and strong, but it wasn't bearing fruit, so it got cursed. And this is what's happening to the churches. All manner of evil is being visited upon the church, because they're not producing. They need to step up to the plate and do better. But anyway, yeah, God is still in paradise. He never left. He never followed Adam out of paradise. He is still there, and He's not here. So again, paradise is on the flip side of reality. And what I mean by that, and it's kind of hard to explain, but all I can say is this. If you've ever went to sleep and had a dream, you were in this world, and then you just dozed off. You went to sleep. At what point you went to sleep, you probably don't even know, don't even recall. Just boom, you just fell asleep. You may recall, feeling drowsy, but the actual fall into the state of sleep, that's just kind of hard to recall. Some people, they don't even recall their dreams when they wake up. But Like if you ever went to sleep and fell into a dream, and then you wake up, and then you remember what you dreamt about. It's kind of like that. Adam, when he was cast out of the garden, he was cast into a state of unconsciousness, just like when you fall asleep. And just like when you fall asleep, the dream seems so concrete and real. Does it not? Of course it does. So, but are you really there in that dream? Because although the dream seems concrete and like it's true reality, your body is on the flip side of reality, laying in bed. You're there, but you're not there. And it's kind of like that. God is here, but he's really not. He's not here. He's on the flip side of reality. We are in the dream. We are in the dream, and we need to wake up. So anyway, thank you for listening. I hope you guys are doing as well as you can, considering everything that's happening in the year 2020. Take care, and God bless.